Hi folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And if you'd like more cartoon news and shenanigans, I'd ask you to please subscribe to my channel. In fact, do it right now so you don't forget about it later. And I thank you very much for that, guys. Today, we're here on Insider.com, and we have a very unfortunate article, especially if you're a Pixar employee or if you are the family member of a Pixar employee. Definitely, not a great article here, but we're going to talk about it. So Pixar staff in shock and disappointed that its next movie, Turning Red, will skip theaters and go straight to Disney Plus. So I did read through the article, and I did a little bit of research on the movie Red. It is a Pixar movie, unlike Encanto, which I just recently, I don't know why I thought Encanto was Pixar. I was just hallucinating, but no. Turns out just this movie, Luca, was the last Pixar movie. So now we're here on Red, Turning Red. And we got this movie. Now, the thing that's interesting about this movie is it seems to take place in Canada. It follows a Canadian/Chinese girl. And I don't know what's going on recently, but Hollywood has been pushing this bizarre trend of making all of the Canadian films have like Oriental representation for some reason. I don't understand why. Not just films, like also like TV show, like media. I meant media. So for example, right, we had Infinity Train Book 4. That one had a Canadian guy in it. Were both of the characters Canadian or just one of them? I can't remember. But they were both of Oriental descent. Again, it's like, what does Oriental descent have to do with Canada? Like, this is a mostly like white and French nation. I don't understand. But they go and pick a freaking Chinese Canadian girl to focus on for some reason. Very bizarre. Also, Canada known for natives. If you wanted to do a movie about turning a character turning into something, natives. The northern half of Canada. Okay, so Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. And in almost every single province and territory, there are native Canadians. These are like the tribal people where they wear the feathers and everything. Just in case you didn't know, maybe you're not from Canada or America and you don't know what a native is. But basically, they believe in a lot of things like totem poles and all these kinds of cool mythological creatures like the Wendigo and, what's the other one? Jackalopes and things like that. There's all these crazy ones, right? Yeah, I think there's like a whole bunch of different ones. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but if you go into like Aboriginal and Native mythology, there's all kinds of crazy ones. I was trying to think of this like one archetype from Yu-Gi-Oh! Called Dangers, where they have like Danger Tsuchinoko and Danger Jackalope and Danger like Bigfoot. Bigfoot, that's another kind of Canadian thing there too. But yeah, you would think they would do Bigfoot, right? Like anytime somebody thinks of Canada, British Columbia, all this forest area, people always suspect that if Bigfoot exists, it would be in like British Columbia or something. You would think they would do something like that. No. Randomly off the wall, Chinese girl. A Chinese girl. We had, like out of all the ethnicities in Canada, you could have gone French. Quebec, that's where like it all started. Nova Scotia literally used to be, we have this here. Nova Scotia used to be a country. Let's go. Canada map. I'll go on the map here for you guys. But basically, here's all the provinces and territories. And then right over here, this little green one, it's kind of hard to see. But I guess that's a better picture. Nova Scotia right here, right? Nova Scotia with the capital of Halifax. Nova Scotia used to be its own country before it joined Canada. You could have done something with like the Newfies, There's a lot of like, culture over there in the maritime provinces of Canada. You could have did Quebec, where you had French people, and these 3 territories, Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut, especially Nunavut, where that's a very Aboriginal native centric place. You would think so. You would think they would have done that. No, we're getting a random Chinese Canadian story. So bizarre. I don't know what the heck's going on. But anyway, sorry, I feel like I started rambling. I was so disappointed in the plot of the movie. I just like completely went on a tangent. Let's get back to this. So I read through the article, and the main important thing is right here. So what did the Pixar staffers say, right? So obviously the COVID pandemic has been going on since, 2020. And as soon as theaters started to close down in what was it, March, April, and May, I think that like all the theaters collectively just shut down. So a lot of those movies like Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, or Onward, Pixar's Onward. You guys remember that one with Tom Holland? And it was like they're both trolls and their father is like a pair of pants. And there was a whole wacky adventure there. Yeah, so that movie got shelved. Then Luca got shelved. I actually have the list of the Pixar films. So we actually got, I missed Soul. I actually missed Soul. That's my bad. So yeah, this 20-second Pixar film was Onward. That one got shelved very quickly, and from what I understand, it was actually a box office flop. I do remember people talking about this. Hold on. Onward is a box office flop. Yeah, I definitely remember it. A lot of articles talking about how it was a flop. And it does. They try and blame the financial shortcomings on the pandemic, but I don't know about that one. Anyways. It still ended up making 141.9 million, but look at the budget. So just in commercial marketing alone, they probably lost half that. So Onward box office, coronavirus not to blame for poor Pixar. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. But yeah, it ended up being a failure. And then Pixar Soul, so we had no idea. I kind of want to, it's a shame that the pandemic had to happen. I kind of was interested in what Soul would have did in the box office, because I personally thought Soul was very boring. Is that just me? I don't know. I thought Soul was going to be this awesome, they made it seem in the trailers like he's this badass music teacher that was going to teach his kids a lesson. When I say his kids, I mean his students. They kind of, in the trailers, they kind of made it seem like, he's this beloved. I thought in my mind, maybe the trailer. I watched the trailers and then maybe I pictured my own story here, but I kind of got this vision that in Soul, he was like this beloved teacher that was going to change his students' lives. Maybe as his students were about to play a big song or whatever, like a big orchestra, he dies. And then the whole movie is about him getting back to his body so he can help these kids, the next generation, learn about music. That's what I thought it was going to be about. Turns out him being a music teacher, barely, it's not that relevant, honestly. It's not that relevant. There is a scene where he does change the course of a student's life, but I don't know. I don't know about that one. Soul, I was waiting for a climax. I was waiting for this big scene. Most of the Pixar movies have a big scene where it's there's a change, there's a villain, there's something happens, you know what I mean? Randall, in Monsters Inc., Randall getting in the way of Mike and Sully, for example. Mr. Waternoose, we had two villains in Monsters Inc. But yeah, it's where was the villain was kind of just a fourth dimensional being. I don't know. It was that guy, but he, what do you even call that thing? A 4D being, some kind of godlike being that could just I don't know, whatever. It had some kind of omnipotent powers and things. It was pretty crazy. It was able to seep into the real world and do all kinds of crazy things. And but anyways, yeah, the villain wasn't that good. It was just a very dorky villain in Soul, and I just thought it was boring, So anyway, so Soul, we never got to find out how good would have Soul have done in theaters. Maybe it would have done good. Maybe people would have said it was boring. I don't know. I'm very curious though. I kind of want to know what you guys think. But so we had Soul on March 6th of Onward was March 6th. So that was right when the pandemic started. Then we had Soul of December of that same year. So that was just about a year ago. Now it's January 2022. So this was just about a year ago. So Soul went right onto Disney Plus. Then Luca, and I know a lot of people were salty about Luca going to Disney Plus again. A lot of people thought, the pandemic is kind of coming to an end by now. It's June of 2021. No, no, it doesn't. It doesn't seem like we're gonna get much traction. So they just said, screw it. We're just throwing it on Disney Plus. And I remember at the time, a lot of people were talking about it. It's like, imagine working on this movie for years of your life, telling your family, like, I can't wait to watch this in theaters with you guys. We're going to make it a family event. And then they tell you it's only going to be available on Disney Plus. And you never get to know, like, how good would Luca have done in theaters? People seem to like Luca. I thought it was another boring one. That's just my take anyway. I thought it was another boring film. Maybe I'm just a cynical old fuddy-duddy here, but I honestly also didn't think much. The last few Pixar films, I'm going to be honest with you guys, the last time I thought a Pixar film was decent was Coco. That's been a while. Like, I thought The Incredibles 2 was honestly just, like, not good anywhere. I thought Incredibles 2 was so bad that I literally would give the first Incredibles like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, like almost a perfect score. And then the second movie, I would give it a 4 or a 5 out of 10, which is almost half. That's how much I dislike that movie. So I didn't like Incredibles 2. I wasn't jiving with it. I didn't like it. I thought The Underminer was pretty funny. It was kind of funny to see The Underminer come back for a little like cameo appearance there. He doesn't do much in the plot though. And he seems to get away. If you watch till the end of the credits, the Underminer seems to get away. So maybe one day in Incredibles 3, he'll be back for another tale. Who knows? But Toy Story 4, that was just another boring. I really, really hated the ending. So spoilers if you haven't seen it. Basically, Woody abandons Andy. He just abandons his friends. I didn't like it. He basically just goes off with Bo Peep to do his own thing. But like, oh man, I was not a fan of Toy Story 4. I think Toy Story 3 was such a great ending. All the toys came together. They thought they had a life and death situation in the garbage dump, incinerator. And they make it out alive, and they're just all great. They're grateful that they got to spend time with each other. They accepted their fates, but they ended up making it out alive in the end. Even though some people say it was more of a das ex machina, which I agree. But I guess they had to get out of there somehow. They had to get out somehow. But I really like the ending of that. A Toy Story 3. Andy, he's all grown up. He's not playing with the toys anymore, so he gives it to his little cousin Molly. I like that. It's like the passing of the torch, the passing of generations. Then Toy Story 4 comes along, and it's like, Andy basically tells his toys, take good care of Molly. And then Woody just straight up fucking abandons. Woody literally abandons Molly for Bo Peep, and I was not digging that. It kind of like breaks the whole theme, like he literally he was always Andy's toy. He was always Andy's favorite toy. If any character was going to follow something through to the end, it would be that loyal cowboy Woody, and he just says, F Andy, F Molly, Bo Peep time, baby. And can toys even have sex? Like, what is he really dropping here? He's dropping his lifetime loyalty to Andy for like silicone marble on plastic action. Like they don't make love or anything. They're just companions. You know what I mean? I guess they do kiss sometime, right? I think Bo Peep like kisses in the first Toy Story. Is that right? Yeah, he there's a kiss in there somewhere. I think so. I think Bo Peep like kisses someone. But yeah, and also doesn't Jessie kiss Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story 3? I think that might have happened. Yeah. So there is love, there is romance, but like, what are they gonna do? They're just like companions, you know what I mean? It's kind of like Doctor Who. It's like Doctor Who before it went to shit with Jodie Whittaker. I got Peter Capaldi's run was also awful, but Yeah. Yeah, basically I have a lot of thoughts on Doctor Who also, but the companions, they just kind of stay they're there with the doctor. They don't really do anything. They just kind of like have an adventure and they get the hell out, or they die or something. Sometimes they die, sometimes they get lost in time, like Rory and Amelia. Uh, there's a whole bunch of different endings. One of the worst ones was Bill. Yeah, Bill. Doesn't Bill end up with a lesbian space puddle? My God. So Doctor Who kind of went really woke after David Tennant and Matt Smith left. So yeah, but the point I was just trying to make was they were companions and Woody and Bo Peep. What are they gonna do together? They're just gonna like snuggle and kiss and that's it, right? Like they're not. They could have just. I don't know. I didn't like the ending. It just felt stupid. They just separated the toys for like no reason. There was no reason they needed to be separated. It literally just felt like Woody abandoned his friends in the end. So I wasn't a fan of that. But anyways, so yeah, most of these films since like I think Coco was one of the last good ones. Even some of these are I didn't like Cars 3, Finding Dory. Didn't like it. The Good Dinosaur didn't like it. Inside Out was actually decent. Monsters University was pretty solid too, and Brave was probably like one of the last good ones. You know what I mean? Where it was an original title. Monsters University, obviously a prequel to Monsters Inc. But yeah, so we have all this. We have all this information. We have Turning Red coming March 11, 2022. So that's a couple months away. At the time of this recording, it's March. It's March. No, it's January freaking 12th at the time of this recording. So 2 months away from this. And then you got Lightyear. Oh, Lightyear. Oh, Lightyear is actually coming in this year. Wow. I didn't realize that. I thought this was coming like next year. So Lightyear is already coming in June. Holy shit. That one will probably be in theaters. If that movie doesn't get in theaters, these Pixar employees are going to fucking riot in the streets. They're going to burn down Disney Incorporated. They're going to burn down this damn Mickey Mouse Corporation with fire, no doubt. But let's read what some of they had to say. So Pixar staffers said they're disappointed another movie won't be in theaters. It's safe to say that we're all feeling extremely disappointed. One Pixar staffer who agreed to speak on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to talk about the matter. Yeah, Disney makes you. Oh yeah, they make you sign all kinds of bullshit disclosures. You can't defame the movie, or you can't defame the Walt Disney Corporation. You just can't talk, basically. But this person went under the radar and went in for anonymity here, so they went in anonymously. And let's see what they have. Told Insider Friday after Disney made the announcement. Until today, they continued, we all thought Turning Red would be our return to the big screen, right? So if you're working on a movie for years of your life, and then Disney comes in, the old mouse comes knocking and says, sorry, folks, no, no movie theater cinema appeal for you. It's going right to Disney Plus. So, you know, and I feel like a lot of people, movies that launch in movie theaters feel like they have that bigger appeal. Like this movie's so big it was in theaters, you know what I mean? Where it's like where it's like sometimes you're just like, this movie was a direct to DVD, you know, like Cinderella 2 and 3, right? I think those were direct to DVD. So yeah, it's like it doesn't feel as big, right? It doesn't feel as big as Cinderella if they're just going directly to DVD or VHS back in the day. So yeah, this is going right to Disney Plus. So it feels like, it almost feels like Disney's saying, we don't have confidence in Pixar. You know what I mean? And they do have Walt Disney Animation, right? They have their own Walt Disney Animation studio. So it sort of feels like, why do Pixar and Walt Disney Studios, Walt Disney Animation, have to be two different entities? It kind of feels like Disney's going to say, maybe we're just going to merge these, you know? That's a feeling that I get here. Like, I don't know. It feels like they're disrespecting Pixar. Maybe they're just going to okay, you guys remember this? Blue Sky Studios, Ice Age. Let's look at Ice Age. Blue Sky Studios here. Ice Age was made by Blue Sky Studios. Let's see here. Animation. Let's see. So it'll say Ice Age, Blue Sky Studios right here. Was film produced by Blue Sky Studios? Then you look here. Disney lays off Blue Sky. I covered this. I actually did a video. I think I covered this article, maybe. I don't remember which one. Disney to shut down Ice Age studio Blue Sky, the latest brand to fall. This is what companies do. Like, whether it's Google or Disney or whichever else one, they shut down brands. They shut these brands down and they merge them into the Borg, the Disney Borg. The decision will result in about 450 layoffs after the closure takes in effect. So they just basically wiped out almost the entire Blue Sky Animation Studio. Ferdinand. I actually liked that film. That wasn't even a bad film, Ferdinand. I did like those unicorns. They were pretty funny. Anyway, or sorry, did I say unicorns? I meant horses. There's these like Swedish horses in there. They were pretty funny. But yeah, so Disney shuts down Blue Sky, and I guess some of these Pixar people are just like worried shit. They see this only happened recently. Blue Sky is shutting down. I think that was just last year. So Pixar's like, oh my God, they're only putting us on Disney Plus. They think we're trash. Maybe we're all gonna be out of a job if this doesn't go to theaters. So the morale is low, and they say right here, it was quite a blow. It was quite a blow. Everybody at the studio was so excited about it being this film in particular. It was quite a blow. Jeez. Well, it did not return to the big screen. Let's see. Another staffer who also agreed to speak anonymously for the same reasons told Insiders Sunday that it was a shock. The movie slated to come out March 11th got the straight to Disney Plus treatment. Here in Canada, I could understand why it happened. Like here in Canada, we kind of like got forced back into some lockdown restrictions. Some of the businesses are at 50% now. They're closing early. So for example, Zehrs, Loblaws. I don't know if you guys know this chain, but here in Canada, there's a grocery store chain called Zehrs. My entire life, they always close down at 11 p.m. Now, during these restrictions, they close at 10. So certain stores are literally closing like way earlier. Not always. Sometimes it's only an hour. Some stores have shifted their hours because no employees will work for them. We're having a big unemployment crisis. So what they have to do is they have to reduce their hours. They have to reduce their open hours. And I could see why they did this, right? Because again, certain parts of Canada have gone back down into lockdown. Not all of them, but some of them, most of the major places did. And maybe somebody at Disney just saw this. Especially this film is aimed at Canadians. Remember that. I did talk about this earlier in the video. Specifically aimed at Canadians and I guess Chinese people, because it's a Chinese-Canadian little girl that... What is it? Every time she gets embarrassed, she turns into a red panda or whatever? Yeah. It's some shit like that. Well, wait, let me just double check here. It was anytime she's too excited. Okay, it's a 13-year-old Chinese Canadian. Again, very rare. Not, I don't know very many Chinese Canadians. Maybe it's just where I live, though. But who turns into a giant red panda whenever she's too excited or stressed out. Kind of weird. Again, you could have gone with a native Canadian plot where like an Aboriginal turns into like a totem pole or something. I think that would have been a cooler idea. I don't like this whole China business. Not only it's like they're trying to step on us. You know what I mean? Like I'm a Canadian. I feel like they're stepping on the Canadian heritage and just saying, "Oh, look, everybody, here's another film that can appeal to China." I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. Very unusual that they would target like a Chinese Canadian as the protagonist. Very, very unusual. But again, it all comes down to money. These people clearly don't give a shit about Canada. We have a very small population. Only like 40 million people in Canada. Like 38, I think. 38 million. Meanwhile, in China, they've got like over 1 billion something over there. So why would we appeal to Canada when we could just go to China, So that's why the whole Canadian-Chinese gimmick is thrown in here. Very stupid. But another staffer said it was the shock slated to come out and got the straight to Disney Plus treatment. It sucks, but I get it, the staffer went on to say. With the surge of new COVID cases around the world due to Omicron, as well as the recorded number of children being hospitalized. That's another thing, too. A lot of kids are being hospitalized, not necessarily because of COVID directly, but because of COVID indirectly. A lot of kids are at home. Suicide rates are off the charts because kids, they like to run around, they like to jump around and go crazy, they like to go everywhere. And in this pandemic, imagine what's been going on with these kids. Online learning. By the way, Canada recently just switched back to online learning because the cases surged again. But what is this doing to the children? We have to ask ourselves this. What is it doing to the children? It's not a good sight. It's not a good thing what's going to happen with all these kids. These kids are growing up in isolation. I worry for them. I really do. I worry for this, what is it, alpha generation, beta generation? I don't even know which generation we're on anymore. But I'm really worried for the kids that are growing up right now in like 2010, 2020. Your childhood was literally taken from you if you're growing up right about now. And that's not good. That's not good at all. But let's keep going here. So Staffers Insider, with Omicron infection so high, I haven't heard anyone say the decision to pivot to streaming is wrong. Well, you also, see, here's the tricky thing about this too. It's a shame that they couldn't get this movie out a couple weeks or a month earlier because you freaking had Spider-Man. What did Spider-Man do? Like over $1 billion, right? Spider-Man over $1 billion, yeah. I'm pretty sure No Way Home hits $1 billion globally despite the pandemic, folks. Despite the pandemic. This movie only came out a couple weeks ago. And Sing 2 also came out. So that was a little bit of competition there. But I think if they had just planned this out a little better, they should have literally just pushed this. They should have tried to get this out by December. And if they had done that, I guess it would have competed against... Yeah, I guess no matter what, they were kind of screwed, right? If they tried to compete for December, then they would have been going up against their own Disney movie. Well, it's kind of Sony, though. But I think Disney gets a small cut of the Sony Spider-Man stuff, so... But, goddamn. Goddamn, indeed. They were kind of screwed no matter what, it feels like. They would have been competing against something or other. For the money, for the ticket sales. So maybe this was the right choice, but it still sucks, right? Again, another Pixar film. We don't get those box office numbers. I love looking at the numbers. I love knowing what's coming next and what's going on. And now we don't get to know. We just don't get to know. So that's kind of sad. But let's finish up here. So where were we here? Something. A Pixar movie hasn't been shown. Oh, wait, hold on. One source familiar with the inner workings at Disney and Pixar told Insiders movie like Soul, about a jazz musician whose life is cut short, and Luca, which follows two sea creatures who explore life above water, playing exclusively on the service, has been the huge upside for Disney Plus in its efforts to land more subscribers and keep existing ones. Did I miss something here? I think I did, yeah. Let's see here. We're frustrated their recent movies weren't getting theatrical releases. However, being released on Disney Plus has led them to being extremely popular. So that, at the end of the day, it's still supporting Disney, but like I said, just imagine being a Pixar employee, telling your family, like, guys, it's going to be on the big screen. We're going to go watch it as a family. And then it gets shelved to Disney Plus. And that doesn't feel, going to the theaters is definitely an experience. You know what I mean? It's good. I feel like right now everybody's sheltered at home. Sometimes you just want to get out there and go watch a movie. And now you can't. Now you can't. Poor Pixar, man. So very unfortunate shit. But I think that's basically it, right? We're here towards the end. We're here towards the end. This is Soul here. There we go. Pixar. It sucks, but I get it. Studio movie release plans are very different now than they were over the summer, and the Staffers Insider Wait, and the staffers Insider spoke to understand that. With the infection so high, who agreed to speak anonymously, we weren't. Yeah, they weren't allowed to speak publicly. We went over this. But I think that's it, right? I think that's it. Insider reported in April that some staff were frustrated that their recent movies weren't getting theatrical releases. However, being released on Disney Plus has led them to being extremely popular. So I basically read through the entire article, well, most of the important shit anyway. I don't think we need to read anything else. It's not great if you're a Pixar employee. It sucks to be you. It kind of sucks to be a Canadian right now. We're locked down, and the only movie that is coming out that features Canada, I guess, is basically pandering to Chinese people. Like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not even happy about this, but yeah. That's, I feel like I've given all I can say about this movie. It's not a great position if you're a Pixar employee, especially. And maybe they'll get lucky. What was the next one coming out? Let's just do a recall here. Lightyear. So Lightyear's coming out in June. Now, right now it's winter. By June, it'll be summer. That's a nice hot Canadian summer there for you. Not that hot, of course. We mostly have a pretty mountainous climate here in Canada, so it'll be like about 20 degrees, usually 20 to 30. That's what it usually is. Celsius, of course, not Fahrenheit. We are not Americans. No Fahrenheit, only Celsius. But yeah, so Lightyear, I think Lightyear could be the first one to release in theaters again. I think so. If they don't release Lightyear in theaters, I feel like that would be a huge blow to Pixar. I would be worried for those employees because Disney might just shut the whole thing down and call it Disney Pixar Studios. You know what I mean? Just merge it in. Everything from now on, no more Walt Disney Animation. It's just going to be Walt Disney Pixar Studios or whatever the hell. Pixar Animated Studios. They'll make up some bullshit name with a hyphen in it. You guys know the drill on this thing, on this kind of thing. But yeah, that's it from me. I want to know all your thoughts. Did you guys watch to the end of this video? Give me 2 thumbs up emojis if you made it to the end. So thank you very much, guys. I also wanted to shout out, who was it? Keegan, I think, right? I think it was a guy named Keegan Anthony, actually. Yeah, I think it was Anthony. Who asked me to talk about this. Where is it? Yeah, who was this? I wanted to give a shout. Kevin Smith. That's my bad. I thought it was Anthony. Kevin Smith linked me the article and asked me to talk about this. 2 thumbs up for you, Kevin Smith. Thank you very much. Not to be confused with the Kevin Smith that ruined He-Man, of course. That's a different piece of shit. No. Kevin's an awesome guy. Sorry, like this Kevin, not Kevin Smith. I do not like Kevin Smith, by the way. I think he did pretty good work on Clerks too, though. I got to say that at least. But modern day Kevin Smith, he went woke. He went, he's definitely going for those Hollywood virtue signals, and I am not a fan of him. Kevin Smith on my Discord, God bless. Thank you for the article. I think this was a pretty informative episode here. I talked about a lot of stuff. Maybe it could have been a bit shorter, but hey. What can you do? So let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Does it suck to be a Pixar employee? Are you Canadian? Now this is important. Are you Canadian? Are you pissed off that they keep kind of like focusing on Oriental? Again, Infinity Train Book 4. It had this heavy emphasis on Canada culture. And then they're Asians, is there a secret like underground conspiracy that we should know about? Why are all these media corporations focusing so heavily on Chinese Canadians when most of Canada is literally white and French? What the hell is going on? Also, the Aboriginals, I can't forget them. But most of Canada is white, French, or Aboriginal, and you go and make a movie about a Chinese Canadian. Get out of here, Pixar. You're drunk. So let me know if you're a Canadian. I want to hear your take on this. Is there a conspiracy here? Are you pissed off? Are you even mad? Or do you give a shit? Do you think this movie is going to be a flop? That's a good question, right? Because Onward was a flop. I really hope this movie can be good. Last couple Pixar movies have been boring, so hopefully this one will be good and, change things up, shake things up the formula. It's getting a little stale with Pixar. It's getting a little boring. I want to see something fresh and new. This could be it. Who knows? But yeah, please like the video, please share, and please subscribe for more cartoon news and shenanigans. Thanks, guys. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye. Peace out.